Welcome back, investors, to Ticker Time News. I'm Adam, and today we're talking about Lordstown Motors, ticker symbol RIDE, R-I-D-E. Lordstown Motors reported their Q4 and full year 2020 earnings report, so we're going to dive into that and look at their numbers. We're also going to look at their stock chart and find out where the stock is heading and what the stock has been doing. Before that, we do have to mention one thing. Smash the like button and click subscribe and join our family of investors. It's free. All right, let's get into it. First off, on the chart, this is what Lordstown Motors looks like since the announcement was made that Lordstown Motors was going to merge with a SPAC. First off, we do have to mention one negative thing. Lordstown Motors was hit with a not so nice piece by Hindenburg Research, and the title of it is The Lordstown Motors Mirage, Fake Orders, Undisclosed Production Hurdles, and a Prototype Inferno. So we're not going to go too deep into this. I'll make another video explaining what this report is about. But I just want to mention that report is out there. It says a lot of not so nice things about Lordstown Motors. For example, the illusion of supply and demand. They claim that Lordstown Motors does not have 100,000 orders placed for their electric vehicles. They talk about Lordstown founder and CEO Steve Burns was described to us by former senior employees as a con man and a P.T. Barnum figure. I did just want to put this out there so you are aware. Hindenburg Research did produce a report that does paint Lordstown Motors in a very negative way. And on Lordstown Motors earnings report, they just mention it briefly, and I'll just read their statement on the Hindenburg Research report. And it says, Lordstown Motors Corp., a leader in electric light-duty trucks focused on the commercial fleet market, today issued a statement in regards to a short seller report written on Lordstown Motors by Hindenburg Research on March the 12th, 2021. The company is aware of the remarks made in the report and intends to respond as appropriate in due time. And that's all they say about it. All right, so let's just hop right over to their earnings report. And Lordstown Motors is not a company that is profitable yet. So let's just make sure we're clear on that. This is their fourth quarter and full year 2020 financial results. And here are the key highlights. Reported full year 2020 net loss of $101 million. So that's what they lost as a net loss for the entire year of 2020. $101 million. And they go on to say cash of $630 at the year end 2020. So they're just saying that they have $630 million in cash on hand. They also mention here that the timeline to start of production is September 2021, and that remains on track, with beta prototype build underway and the first beta vehicles to be ready by the end of March. Vehicles to be sent for durability, crash validation, and lighting testing with various partners and to early initial customers for feedback. So they say they're on schedule for production to start in September of 2021. They also mention interest in the Lordstown Endurance all-electric pickup truck remains robust, moving towards arrangements with fleet management companies to work to obtain purchase commitments from their clients and direct sales to fleet customers. Because one thing mentioned in the Hindenburg report is that the pre-orders that they do have are fake, and the customers they have are fake. But again, we're not getting into the weeds of that. We're just trying to report the facts on their earnings report. Lordstown Motors goes on to report announcing expected capital expenditure range for 2021 of 250 million to 275 million. And this is what I mentioned earlier. This is what they expect to spend in 2021. Now, here's what they're going to spend that 250 to 275 million dollars on: to create plant capability to be able to produce 60,000 vehicles per year in response to greater endurance interest than originally expected. Two, accelerate development of the company's second vehicle. And three, build additional tools to insource complementary to create a 5-star crash rating vehicle and for certain higher supply chain costs related to COVID-19. They go on to say, accelerating the development of Lordstown Motors' second vehicle, a van, with a goal of SOP. And remember, SOP stands for Start of Production in the second half of 2022. Expected to unveil a demonstration van in the summer of 2021. So look forward to a new van by Lordstown Motors this summer. Currently entering the due diligence phase, which the company hopes to complete in the second quarter of 2021, of an advanced technology vehicle manufacturing ATVM loan opportunity. If successful, Lordstown Motors could potentially enter negotiations for a term loan at that time. And then they have some comments from Steve Burns, the CEO and founder of Lordstown Motors. And I'm just going to read just a bit of this. He says, "We are extremely excited and proud to be so close to delivering our first beta vehicles, which we believe should solidify and spur customer demand and comments. The beta production reflects our innovative engineering, increasingly automated factory, and unique hub wheels and battery pack capabilities." And then the next thing in here that's important is the 2021 objectives and financial outlook. So this is what they're predicting for the rest of the year. As we highlighted above, we have received greater interest in the Endurance than we anticipated when we announced our transition in August 2020. We also see enormous leverage inherent in our Endurance chassis and innovative technologies, and as such believe that accelerating development of vehicle number 2 makes economic sense. Okay, so here's the numbers. They expect capital expenditures between $250 to $275 million. That's what they expect to spend during this year. Expected operating expenses of between 40 and 45 million, and selling and administrative costs and between 180 and 190 million in research and development R&D costs. Expected year-end 2020 liquidity of at least 200 million in cash and cash equivalents. Our forecast liquidity position does not include the receipt of any funds associated with our pursuit of an ATVM loan. As we receive feedback from our initial customers, we plan to deliver beta vehicles in mid-2021. Or, sorry, they put a Q there. Did they make a mistake? Is it mid-2021 or mid-2Q21, as in second quarter 21? We anticipate an acceleration of purchase commitments just as we start targeting and following up with municipal and government fleets for potential and significant engagement opportunities. Okay, so that's what they have to say about their earnings report, and they do list out not all of their costs, but they do list out the major ones. For example, cost of operations, selling, administrative, research and development, loss of operations, other income, which is blank, other income, interest, net loss, and net loss per share diluted of a loss of 23 cents, and that is for the quarter. and that is up from a loss of 10 cents for the same quarter last year. And then for the full year, they've got the same thing listed out. The net loss per share, basic and diluted, a loss of $1.04 for the whole year, up from a loss of 15 a year ago. Okay, so now we need to hop over to the charts here and take a closer look at where we are at. What you see here is year to date on the stock chart. So from their all-time high that they made, and that was back on the 11th of February of $31.80 per share. This is when all EV stocks were going to the moon, quite literally. They have lost 56.2%, so they're down quite a bit. And you can see they were in a very defined, these two red lines here that are going down at an angle, they were in a very defined descending trading channel. Now let's look a little closer at where they're at. They were consolidating right here along this blue line. This would be a bottom of about $16.50 up to a top of about $18.20. So right now they have support right around $14.15, and they seem to be getting rejected anywhere between $16.25 right now. So that's where Lordstown Motors is at. They're consolidating right here, again, a low of about $14.50 or so, and then a high of about $16.25 or so. Somewhere in between there is where they're consolidating. Where they go next, well, that is anyone's guess. I guess what is really weighing on Lordstown Motors, can they shake off the Hindenburg research report and prove it wrong by delivering vehicles, at least prototypes, to be tested by the summer? So that's what Lordstown Motors needs to do. If they're going to succeed and they're going to be an EV company that lasts for a while and makes a dent in the EV market, they have to prove themselves this summer. They said they should have the second vehicle prototype by this summer, and they should start production on a beta vehicle by September of this year. So that is what we need to see happen with Lordstown Motors. Thank you for watching. I hope you found a ton of information going through this on Lordstown Motors. Make sure to click the like button and also click subscribe and join our family of investors. It's free and we're here for each other. Also, catch our live show every day after the market has closed. And what we do special is you leave your ticker symbol in the comments and we go over that ticker symbol live on the show right there with you. So I hope to see you there. And if not, I will see you in the next video.